Good evening, and thank you for tuning into this video. So in class today, we worked on calculating the slope. Now we're going to talk about how to graph a line when given the slope and a point. So make yourself a note up top. You need 2 points in order to graph a line. So 2 points to graph a line. Okay? So if you're given the point, if you're given 1 point and a slope, you got to figure out, well, how am I going to find another point in order to graph the line? So we'll work a couple examples of these. So the first example is graph a line that goes through -2, -3 with a slope of 0. First, 0 slope means that the line is horizontal, and that's what we talked about in class today. All right, so to graph this line, I'm going to first make my coordinate system. I'm sorry this is going to be a little crooked, but I'm holding the camera while I write, so it's not going to be exactly lined up. Then I'm going to graph the point that's given. I'm given the point -2, -3. So I'm going to graph what's given. -2 means I go over to the left 2, and -3 means I go down 3. So -2, -3 is right here. Now I have to graph a line that goes through that point with a 0 slope. If it has a slope of 0, it's just going to be a horizontal line. So that means I can just graph a horizontal line that goes across -2, -3. Again, sorry it's not straight, but it's hard to do this with one hand. So that's it for example 1. Let's look at example 2. Example 2 asks us to graph a line that goes through 5, -1 with a slope that is undefined. So remember in class today, a slope that is undefined means that the line is vertical. Now go ahead, I didn't give you much room, but go ahead and go over to the side and graph it. So again, I have my coordinate system. It's my y, my x. Now, I have to first graph the point 5, -1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 will just be 5 to the right, and -1 means I'm going to go 1 down. So 5 to the right, 1 down. There is my 5, -1. Now remember, so now I want to graph a line that has an undefined slope. Remember that if it's an undefined slope, that means that my line is vertical. So to graph that line, I just have to make a vertical line that goes through the point 5, -1. So that is all I have to do. Let's work another example. The next example says, graph a line that goes through -2, 3 with a slope of 1, 3. Now remember, slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So it's the change in y over the change in x. This will be very helpful because if we're given a slope, this will help us figure out what our next point is. Now, if I have a slope of 1, 3, my 1 is my change in y, okay? Because my 1 is positive, having 1 as my numerator tells me that to get to my next point, I'm going to have to go up 1. So go ahead and squeeze that in there. Now, my denominator is going to be my change in x. Since my change in x is positive, having a +3 in my denominator means that I need to go 3 to the right. So go 3 to the right. Okay? So keep this in mind when we're graphing this. So to graph this, I'm going to first draw my coordinate plane. There we go. Now with this one, I'm going to go ahead and make a lot more tick marks because of what I'm trying to illustrate. Okay, so this is my y, this is my x. First thing I have to do is I have to graph -2, 3. All right, so -2 means I go to the left 2. 3 means I go to the right 3. So I go up 3. So -2, 3, I go to the left 2, up 3. So here is my -2 over 3. Okay, now to graph a line that goes through -2, 3, that has a slope of 1/3, I'm going to need a second point because remember, I need 2 points in order to graph a line. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the numerator of my slope first. So my 1, because it's a positive 1, tells me that I need to go up 1. So from -2, 3, I'm going to go up 1. Now my 3, because it's a positive 3, tells me that I'm going to go 3 to the right. So I'm going to go up 1 and 3 to the right. So up 1, 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3. So my second point is right here. So my second point is going to be at 2. It's going to be at, let's see, sorry about that. No, it's going to be at 1 because I'm going to the right 3. So it's going to be at 1 and then +4. Okay, so again, to get this number, what I did was I went up 1, so now I'm at 4, and then I went to the right 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm a little off, my graph's a little off, but you get the point. So I'm going to go to the right 3, and that is my second point. So now, to graph that line, I just have to make my line go through those 2 points. Again, sorry, it's crooked, but it's hard to record and write at the same time. So let's just review that. First, what I did was I graphed my -2, 3 first. Now I used my slope to get my second point. Because 1 is in my numerator, that tells me I have to go up 1. And then my +3 tells me to go to the right 3. So I'm going to go up 1 and to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. So my second point is going to be 1, 4. And that's it. Now, on the back, you have 2 examples. Go ahead and try this as your own. Now, the tricky thing about these examples is you have a negative slope now. So I want you to write this in real quick. A slope of -3 over 5 is the same thing as having the -3 on top and having a +5 on bottom. So now whenever you go to find your second point, you're going to have to go down 3 first and then to the right 5. Make the change on this one as well. So -6 over 7, go ahead and put the negative with the 6. And so it's going to be -6 and then put that over +7. So whenever you go and graph your second point, you're going to go down 6 because the 6 is negative, and then you're going to go to the right 7. Go ahead and try those examples on your own, and we'll go over in class tomorrow. God bless you and have a good day.